What's up, traders? I'm Scout God. I am one of the co-founders of the Edge Funder prop firm. We provide instant and direct funding to help you trade. This is the first video of a series that I will be doing that will be going over tutorials on how to use the platforms that we provide access to. So in this first video, we're going to be going over Volumetrica, a great platform. So I will be showing you how to connect to data, how to enter and exit sales, how to do copy trading, one-click trading, how to add indicators, and much, much more. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. Okay, so here we are. You can see we are on the charts. This is how the dashboard looks. So once you actually purchase an account, you'll be able to go in here and select Volumetrica, and it will then load this screen. Now, when you first do it, it's automatically going to connect you to the data. So most of the time, you won't have to worry about this step. But this, in case you ever need it, is how you are going to actually connect to the data. So at the very top up here where it says feed and select the connection, you will just go up here, select the edge funder. That will turn yellow, and then it will change to green, and then you'll be able to start to see the candles move. So that was pretty easy enough. Unless you're using other providers, there will ever only be one selection here. So moving right along, then what you will want to do is at the very top, this is how you're going to select the instrument that you want to trade. So if you click the drop down arrow, you would then be able to input a symbol here. So in this example, we can go over NQ. So when you select NQ, the first one is going to be the one that you want to use. These other ones are going to be the monthly contracts. So I recommend never to use any of those. We're going to use the continuous contract, which is always going to be the first option, whether you're trading in Q or ES, for example. It's always going to be the first one. The X is for DX speed, and CME is Chicago Market Exchange. So let's go ahead and select ES in this example. Next, it's pretty simple, self-explanatory. You have the time frame. So whatever time frame that you're normally trading on or charting on, you'll be able to select here in this drop down arrow. So in this example, let's just select the 1 minute. This next section right here is where you're going to select the different candle types that you use. So candlesticks is going to be what's currently on the screen, your normal candles. Another sort of fan favorite is Heikin, which is easily available here. So you would just select that, wait for it to load, and you have Heikin candles. So I think that's pretty simple enough. At the bottom of this section for the candlesticks, you'll see where it says price settings. So this is where you're actually going to go whenever you want to make some changes to the candles that appear on the chart. So if you want to change the colors of those, for psychology reasons, then you will just click on that, go to series, and then you will be able to change the color here. So for example, if you want to change it to orange and purple, right? So you would change it, click apply, close, and now you have orange and purple candles. So you can change that to whatever you like. Choice is yours. So there's some other candle types that you can use here. One cool one is delta volume bars, if you're familiar with that. If you select this, then this actually changes the color dependent on the volume of that candle. So for example, let's go back to the candles, and let's change this back to green and this one back to red so you can clearly see. So apply, close, and let's turn this off. So now the candles are back red and green. And now if we go and we select delta volume bars again, you'll see that there's like different shades of the colors. So what this means is the darker the color, the more volume it is on that candle. So here you can see we have a very dark green. So that means that there was more buyers on this candle. This one is a darker red, so that's why price came down, because there's more sellers on this candle. So you can use this for extra confluence on your strategy if you choose. I do suggest back testing it so you can get more familiar with it. But it is a really cool feature to have. Indicators. So indicators here, you can see we already have swing points. Let's delete that. So indicators, there's different types. So you would select indicators, then select add indicator. There's technical analysis and volume. So those are the two different types of indicators that are provided by Volumetrica. So you can go through here. The technical analysis has some of your more, of course, technical features like MACD if you use that on a regular basis, or something like ATR, which is a good one. So you can go through and select whichever one. There are several indicators there. A main one on the volume is order flow that people like to see. So you can go and select order flow as well. When you select it, you have to give it time to load, and then you will see the settings appear first. You can go in there and play around with the different settings as you like. Then once you have it, you can just hit apply, and that will show you your volume if this is something that you like to use. It's easily removable. Just one click and it is gone. Also, some default indicators down here at the bottom, you'll see you could play around with these. There are a lot of different volume types. There's one, the favorite one would be VWAP, which is here. So that does bring the line, but this by default, it adds on the deviations. So you would need to actually go in there and remove those deviations. Let me change this over to MQ so we get a little bit easier viewing of it, of the VWAP. Yeah. So VWAP takes a few seconds to load, and now you can see VWAP and the different deviations of it. If you want to edit this so you only see one, any of these down here, what you could do is simply right click it and the settings will appear. And then we could change the deviations. If you want more, you could add more. I like to personally have it at 0, so I would just change all these deviations to 0 and then hit apply. And now I only have the line that matters the most to me, which is the normal VWAP. So it's easily removable as well, just one click, and then you have to go in there and do it again. I will show you how to save this. Actually, let's look at that now. So in order to save anything, you can select auto save. That will auto save any changes that you ever make, or you could change the workspace. You can create a new workspace, name it whatever you like, and then anytime that you're on, whenever you load your charts, you can mark it as default on the new one, and then you can always load that workspace. So you can have several different workspaces, one for NQ, one for ES, whichever you like, and then always be able to load those by just simply clicking it, and then it will load. See, so this normal one, or this first one that's saved by default, is the ES one that we originally started with. So moving right along, we then have properties. So this is what's going to be anything that's on the chart itself, whether it's the text color or the line colors that you put, the buy, sell orders. If you use the tags on the side where the numbers are, you'll be able to change those as well. You can create templates as well. Just go in, add new template, name it. Yes, save it as a template. So now that's going to save all of your indicators and the settings for those as well. Over here, you have watch lists where you can have some shortcuts for anything that you trade on a normal basis. So for example, if you want NQ chart will load. If you want YM will load, NG, and it will load the chart pretty fast. This is accounts. This will show you all of your accounts that you have connected. down here. So we offer up to 5 accounts. So if you have 5, all 5 would show up here side by side. To get this section to go away, you just click it again and you're back to normal. Sync will actually sync your charts with the settings that you have previously saved. Workspace, we went over that. So let's talk about entering and exiting trades. Actually, real quick before that, if you want to change the colors of anything on your chart, there's some defaults in here that actually work really well. You could just hit change to dark theme. It'll instantly change everything for you. Looks pretty good. If you want to go purple one day, if it's a holiday or whatever, or you can go the normal light theme. It's up to you. So that those work really well. You have 4 options there. So now getting back to entering and exiting trades. So you're going to see these options here. We have trade panel, we have the DOM, and we have time and sales. So if you uncheck trade panel, this goes away. So the only way you would be able to trade if you have all of these unselected. If you see here, there's a little plus sign. So if you click that plus, you can see place sell limit or place buy stop. So you could add a trade in that way, or you could easily just select trade panel and then enter in with market, bid, limit, or stop. Those are all good options for you. Um, One thing about Volumetrica that I really like is there's what we have one-click trading. So down here, you'll see chart trading. If you select that, you could see you have buys here and you have sales here. So if we just, let's say we want to enter when a sell when price gets up to the swing high.
Order submitted.
If we click, it automatically adds in the order. It's pretty cool, pretty smooth, and you don't have to really do much. And it's pretty simple.
Order canceled.
And you can exit the order pretty easily with just by clicking the X. Now notice that we have one-click trading turned on. If we were to turn this off, what that means is we don't have the chart trading anymore, so there won't be any one-click trading. So what that means is, let's say we want to enter in as a buy right now. If I click buy, I'm not in any trade. So when this one-click trading is turned off, that means that I actually have to confirm that I want to enter into that buy. So we pressed buy, but we're not in the trade now. In order to actually enter the trade, we have to hit
order fill,
send the trade to the market. So that would actually confirm the trade, and you can see that the price is moving here now, and we're actually in the trade now. So once we're in the trade, we can adjust the
order submitted
TP and the stop loss pretty easily by just dragging it to where we want. If we want to exit the trade, we can hit
order fill
flat, and that would get us out of the trade, or you can hit sell, but you also have to confirm it. I'm not really a fan of that. I rather just have everything pretty easily. So I like to leave the one-click trading on and then chart trading selected. Also, what I like is I like to have my charts as big as possible. So I turn the trade panel off, and that way I can just easily enter in trades by using the one-click feature here. Another cool thing that I like about this platform is you could easily add different charts. So if you're one that trades in queue, you probably look at ES at times as well, because you know they sometimes move together. So we could easily add in different layout features. So for example, we could just select the 2 screen, and on this side, if we click, that means that all of this is selected for this chart over here. And once I click over here, you can kind of see how it highlighted a bit. Now you'll see that that changed for ES. So the left side is in Q now, and the right side is ES. So if I want to look to see what the 15-minute time frame is doing on ES to determine what kind of trade I'm going to enter in on in Q, then I could do that. So you see, once this left box is selected, you'll see that it says the 1 minute for NQ. If I select the right box, you can see it says 15-minute for ES. So that's a pretty cool feature if you want to use some divergence in your trading. It's pretty cool. If you like to trade multiple instruments at a time, you can select 6 charts if that's what you want, and you can have trading on all of these. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm not a fan of that, so let's get out of that. The other options that we have are the DOM. If you like to use the DOM in your trading, you could just turn on the DOM and you can actually enter in trades
Order submitted.
pretty easily by just clicking there and
Order
get out of
canceled.
that. Same with time and sales. You could select this toggle and there's your time and sales. Let's get out of that. There is a full screen mode here as well. If we select that, then that would get you full screen. So that gets the chart just the way you like it. If you want to exit it, just hit the escape button and you're back to the normal size. At the top right, you'll see the help drop down. If you're to select that, there's some other guides that you can have here. And there's this live chat feature. If you select that, this live chat feature actually goes to Volumetrica. So if there's like a platform issue, we don't own this platform. So if you have like an actual platform issue, you can reach out to them. I would still suggest reach out to us first, so that way we can sort of mitigate if there is like a platform issue, but you can always just reach out directly. Over on the left side, we have all of our drawing tools, which if you like the crosshairs, you can select the crosshair option. If you want to have free hand of the chart to be able to move it where you want, you can select the hand option and that would give you free range where you can move the chart as you like. You have the horizontal lines, which is pretty cool. If they're on your chart, you can just click it again, select this and just click it again, and then you can select one of the dials and you can easily move it to wherever you like. The good thing about this is once you select the line, if you go into the settings, you'll see it's share with all interfaces. So what this means is that any time frame you go on, this line is going to be there. If you don't want that, then you will unselect that option. So if we were to now go on to like a 5-minute chart, for example, then we should have a line at 21,900 as well on the 5-minute. These are all the other drawing tools, pretty self-explanatory. If you want to hide all of those, you can select the eye and then you can unselect it to show everything again. So the last thing that we will cover is probably the fan favorite, which is the built-in trade copier. So this is a real cool tool. Really simple. I wouldn't think too much in it. There is a video on how it works here. This was created by the Volumetrica team itself. But it's real simple. I'll just go over the basics. So you will select your account here. You have group 1. You will go into settings and group 1, right? So you could change this to something like NQ. If you had 2 accounts that you trade in Q and other accounts you trade something else. All of these settings, I wouldn't mess with these unless you kind of know a deeper look into it and you actually test it. So the ones that are really important is going to be the parent account here. This is going to be your lead account. So you will select this and then your accounts will show here. You will select the first account that you want to copy from. So once you have that selected, then you would go here, you would select bracket orders if you like, OCO, order cancels order. So this means that once you actually enter the trade, it's automatically going to select your TP and stop loss according to what you select here. You don't have to use this if you don't want to, but it is a good feature to have. Now, the next important thing is going to be your children accounts, which is the accounts that you're copying to. So down here where it says add children account, you would select that. All of your accounts will show here. You could select one or all of the additional accounts. Once you have those selected, you're pretty much good to go. What this contract multiplier is means that this is how many contracts your accounts that you're copying to are going to run. So let me exit out of this. So on the trading panel, you have your quantity here. You're going to select your lead account in this drop down when you have the trade copier on. And this number here only applies to the lead account, your parent account. We go back into the settings. Here, that number is the same as the lead account. If you were to change this to 2, then that means that the lead account will still trade one contract. All of the accounts that are changed to 2 here, they're going to trade 2 contracts. So you can mix and match if you want. If you have some accounts that have more margin than others, you can play around with that. But to keep it simple, you can always just leave it at 1, and that will automatically copy to whatever the lead account is set to. So if you change the lead account to 2, then this will copy that automatically if you leave it at 1. Once you have that, you would save it, and then you see the status here is stopped. So there is no, the copier is not on. Then once you select start, and this little pop-up comes up about the disclaimer from Volumetrica, you would hit start, and then this would show a status of start. I don't have a copy account now, but you will see that status, and then you're pretty much good to go. So really cool, play around with it. That's all for the copy trader. And yeah, the copy trading is good. Make sure that you are managing your risk because it is a tool that you do not want to forget to turn off. So we got the trade copier out the way. Now the basics would be just your trading panel. So over here, this is going to be information about the account that you want to trade. So this first thing up here would be the instrument that you're trading. This is always going to match what's over here, but this is going to actually show the month contract. You don't have to trade. You don't have to change anything here. This drop down, if you have multiple accounts, all of your accounts will be listed here. Your balance is going to show your current balance. This is always accurate, so you don't have to worry about this being different. This is going to show any open positions here. So for example, let's say we just enter in
order fill,
a sale right now. So you can see we're in one contract for sales. That's why it's -1. This shows that we are in an open P&L right now with we're at break even. This says that our daily is -16 because we took that little example trade earlier in the video. So you can see that it is live and it changes the longer you hold the trade on. Our preset contracts is here. We took a market. You could also do bid or limit if you want to use those. You could do OCO. If you toggle this, then you would have to select these, and then you would put in, for example, 100 tick stop loss, 100 tick take profit, and that would automatically put your
order fill,
order fill put your TP and stop loss. You see the difference of 100 ticks, $5 a tick. Since we are trading in Q, it automatically set it to 500 TP, 500 stop loss.
Order fill.
Flat cancels everything. And yeah, so that's pretty much it with your panel. You don't really have to change anything on there. All right, so that is going to conclude the video. So that's a little short tutorial on Volumetrica platform. You can see it has some great features, pretty simple to use. It's not really that much different from the other platforms that you're normally used to trading. The one of the benefits that I think is pretty cool is that they have the built-in copier, which a lot of the platforms don't. So yeah, definitely check it out. Definitely trade it. That's going to conclude the video again. If you like it, please like, share, subscribe, and there will be more in the series. I think the next video we are going to cover Boss Sys, which is basically a desktop version of Volumetrica. We'll get into Quant Tower and then much more to come. See you in the next video. Peace.